What's up, guys, and welcome to Shipfest Season 2, powered by LG Ultragear. My name is Cap Nadia, and I'm joined by my buddies Valk and Fizzkiller to bring you the first match of this epic new league. We've got the Soviet Union going against Now That Was a Bruh Moment. We've changed things up a little bit this season. We have a 4v4 setup playing ranked epicenter. It's going to be slower, it's going to be tactical. People are going to be trying to get in on the rinks. But most importantly, we have tier 8 ships. Now, this is when the big guns start coming in, isn't that right, Valk?
Absolutely. And we already see the heavy cruisers, Baltimore's on both sides, Vladivostok on one and North Carolina on the other. This should be fun.
Yeah, very excited about how this is going to go, especially because we're going to see the radars wreaking havoc for the destroyers. People are going to make interesting and rather not too aggressive but smart plays using these islands now, because that's something with the radars everyone's going to be mindful of.
Yeah, it's going to let these radar cruisers get quite aggressive considering there are islands right in the middle of the cap, especially the islands towards the east as we see them. And yeah, the Chappie and the Baltimore, they're going to make the DDs sweat a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen. The first radar coming in from Resolution, he's gonna spot out the lightning here. Let's take a look at what the first team is seeing. I think everybody is spotted at this point on the side or on the red team. There's Bravo. Now that was a bra moment, thanks to that radar. And Baltimore is in good cover. They're gonna try and push that lightning back as much as possible. And what's interesting is that they're actually getting the outer ring, Valk, and pretty much uncontested at this point, but at the cost of losing the middle ring. Both sides on the board with points. Outer ring for Alpha and inner ring for Bravo.
Any points you get right now, they can be
invaluable.
because we see a lot of these games going right down to the wire and the points difference being only 10 or 20. And if you already have a 20-point lead, that should make a big difference. Also, it puts the scoreboard pressure on the other team, right? If they see they're lagging behind on points.
Yeah, definitely. Towards the end, people are going to start making slightly more risky or unnecessarily aggressive plays when they're getting pushed behind. And right now, Alpha's in a great position because of that early cap of the outer ring. And look at these two Baltimores. I think they're just oblivious to each other.
Yeah, and they're going to constantly keep each other spotted with either radar or hydro because I don't. Yeah, they should be within each other's hydro ranges for sure. So they're basically both stuck behind those islands now. They can't move. They've locked each other in.
Yep, bit of a stalemate, but those radars are going to keep both lightnings on their toes as well. Uh, pretty much a mirror pick, right? I mean, not completely, but yeah, you got Baltimore on each side, you got Lightning on each side, then you got the Chapayev and the Albemarle, and then you've got the Vladivostok and the North Carolina. And it's interesting, right? You felt the Vlad would be the most popular pick, when it would come to the battleships.
Yeah, I mean, look, these games generally are fought close in. Nobody's like staying on the skirts of the map and trying to, do long range shooting. Most of the people will be within medium to short range when they're shooting, and the Vladivostok is absolutely devastating at those ranges. So yeah, my pick would have been the Vladivostok, although the NC is a pretty good pick as well.
Yeah, look at this. West DD player has been spotted by the Chapayev, and Dinjo is going to be looking at making quick work of him. He's going to try and hug the island as much as possible, but I don't think there is enough elevation on that island to provide any significant cover.
I think
Doing
the
well.
Chappie can lob that. I mean, they are Russian flat shells, but the Chappie can definitely lob those. And I'm very surprised with the Albemarle pick because it's not exactly a ship that can turn games as
Hmm.
much. Although that zombie heal is
Yeah,
definitely pretty helpful.
we can see it in
Yeah,
action. The Albemarle on Bazinga Flux. He is, an elite tier player. So, if there is somebody who would come in with one of those outside picks that nobody expects and can potentially do some crazy stuff, it would be him. Up there on that list.
yeah. Far be it from me to question players who are this good, and generally we've seen in these tournaments the player level is pretty high.
All right, what do you think? Is
Uh,
this disastrous, or rather unnecessarily risky for the Vlad?
the Vlad is pretty tanky. I mean, yes, the broadside is pretty vulnerable, but even if he angles a little bit, it becomes really hard to hurt a Vlad.
Yep. I think the North Carolina hasn't shot. Oh, there we go. Salvo just about coming in from the NC, and decent
There you
chunk of
see,
HP.
yeah,
By the
but
way,
any
I'm
other
not
ship
sure
that
if
would
you've
have been a
noticed.
definite
I'm not
signal.
sure if you've noticed the new audio update. I'm absolutely loving it with the shell audio. Incoming and outgoing shells, you can hear them differently, and adds real punch to, the overall game experience.
It does, and the bounces sound nice.
Oh yeah. Alright, so good chunk of damage there to the Vlad over the last few seconds, taking a lot of salvos. The Albemarle once again spotted,
Oh,
and I think he's in trouble. He's
he
basically
is in
beaching
trouble.
himself.
He is in trouble, and not just that, there's nothing stopping the lightning from actually pushing in and keeping him spotted. I think that's what's happening right now. The lightning's keeping him spotted. He has to reverse, make a
Oh,
turn,
look at
and
those
that puts
beautiful
him right in the
torpedoes
sights.
coming in.
Once he reverses, it's going to put him right in the sights of the NC, and the NC is pretty devastating.
Yeah, decent top spread coming in from the Lightning. I'm confident one might hit.
Does it have
Especially,
range though?
no, I think
No,
Bazinga
it
Flux is
doesn't.
certainly turning in, but yeah, well, it's going to come down to range.
Yeah. There goes the salvo from the NC. We expected that. Let's see what it does though.
Oh, is Baz going to be able to dodge it? I think it's going
A
to be a
nice
masterful
juking.
dodge.
That was some nice juking. Kudos to
Oh, they
him.
just run out. They just run out.
You know what? It was a 50-50 if that one top was going to
Yeah,
hit his
yeah,
stern.
straight in the bum. That would have hurt a lot.
Yep.
That
But that
is crazy
that
stuff.
Albemarle is playing with fire right now. I don't think that position is quite suitable because he's in the line of fire from
But look at
the
this, look at
NC.
this, look at what they've done actually, right? While sort of baiting them with some open shots, they are actually taking the outer ring. And suddenly now that was a bra moment has the points lead. And for some reason the North Carolina has strayed into the middle cap, and while I don't think the torpedoes are going to be anything to worry about for Tom Cyrix's NC,
I'm not
certainly not a position they want to be in.
I'm not sure about the NC's sudden push. I mean, what did that achieve? I didn't quite understand what the reason behind that push was. And yeah, they've lost the outer ring, they've lost the middle ring,
Yeah.
the center ring is still contested, so it's not bringing in any points. And this is where we're going to start seeing some mistakes. We saw that in the last season when things get a little antsy, people don't really work at their best,
Hmm.
or their decision making is, let's just say, compromised, right?
Absolutely. The panic sets in, and then suddenly,
Yeah.
the announcer goes 5 minutes left, and then they're like, ah, shit, we don't have any points. We gotta hustle. See, the Balti's denying the middle cap. The Lightning needs to hurry up and get to the outer cap and get that going. Potentially go towards the Vlad, torp the Vlad while at it, because unless they're going to need a cap, and they're going to need some solid kill points as well. So getting a battleship out of the way is definitely one way. Okay, the Lightning's going to be spotted, Vlad's going to be spotted, and I think Archeon is going to smoke up and he is going to open fire, and who knows, that might signal the other Baltimore to radar up soon.
Yeah, but I mean, the Bravo team doesn't have to do anything right now. They just need to stay alive, and they've
Yeah,
got it.
but it's looking difficult, right? The Vlad is burning, and you know about Russian ships, right? Once you start them off, it's going to be a while before they get put out if they used up their repair parties. And that's one more coming in from Flesh and Bone. 8,000 HP left on him. This is getting tricky. The NC looking good at potentially taking some torps.
I'm surprised Resolution isn't able to lob the shells. Oh yeah, he is. He's going after the Vladdy now.
Yeah, but he's
Although
gonna
shells
return the
coming in,
favor.
and yep,
Ooh.
you can't nose into a Vladdy at that range. The guns are just too accurate. They're just too accurate.
Yeah, I think the Vladivostok, I wouldn't say got lucky, played it perfectly. Got into island cover. As I mentioned, they've been very smart about, baiting out shots. They're great at kiting, and that's what I think got Alpha Team Soviet Union a bit distracted from the objective. They left them quite open, and now they've lost middle cap and outer cap. But this could be the Lightning's only chance to potentially torp and get a kill this game, because in just another few minutes, it's going to be game over for them.
And
Archeon,
I'm not quite sure about the Chappie's positioning either. And he's shooting out in the open. He's broadside to the Vladdy. That could be dangerous. That'll need some good juking. And he's juked them actually. Not bad. I'm just surprised with the Chapayev's positioning. I mean, it's got radar, right? It should be able to ideally push the DDs out of the caps, but he's been on the fringes. He's been near that island throughout the game. I mean, yeah, he's been
oh, look at
shooting at
this.
the
I
Orbital.
think both Lightnings are going to see each other in just a few seconds, guys.
They
Oh, it's a
have.
gunfight, and I think the Albemarle is gonna jump in and contribute to Alpha's misery in a few seconds. Smoke comes out right at the end. We're definitely going to see torpedoes coming in from worst DD player in the next few seconds. Oh, beautiful
Yeah,
radar coming in from the Chapaya. That means Archeon is going to continue to see worst DD players lightning as he exits his smoke. But
oh, is he pulling a Notzer? He's pulled a Notzer.
he's beached
Oh dear.
himself.
The worst time to pull a Notzer, and he's on fire. He's repaired it though. Oh, the
But
game's over.
the game's over. They lost all 3 points, unfortunately. And, combined with the extra kill point that the Vlad got on the Baltimore, that is first win of the day on uh, Trident. All the maps we're going to play today, folks, are on Trident. Now that was a bruh moment. Takes the temporary lead in the league with 1-0. It's interesting to see how that's going to stack up towards the end of the season, guys. We're actually going to be having a complete round robin league, so that means everybody's going to be playing everyone. And it's going to come down to wins and losses. and potentially ties if the last two ships ever decide to ram each other. That's it for the first game, guys. We're going to take a short break and be back in a few minutes with the second game of the day. Don't go anywhere. All right, folks, we are back with game 2 as Vengeance takes on Indian Naval Command. I'm joined again by Valkyrie, and this time, hopefully, going to be speaking is Fizzkiller. How's it going, guys? What's the composition looking like this time?
I was waiting for the Tallinn, and it finally makes an appearance, and also the Cleveland, which I
And we
think are
also
two
have a
great picks,
Bismarck.
and a Bismarck, which we discussed privately offline. Lightning seems to be super popular, and I don't blame them. I mean, it's a very versatile ship.
I think we're
Uh,
we're gonna see mostly lightnings for the DDs, and we're going to see people mixing it up with the two cruisers, right? Because the comp restrictions are one destroyer, two cruisers, and one battleship per team.
yeah, and I think I was actually thinking that some folks might actually choose the Hipper because it is a good ship, and if it all comes down to hand fighting, the Hipper stops obviously help.
Yeah, especially because the game mode forces a lot of close quarter engagements. You're going to have to hug islands, especially the cruisers, right? If we're on Trident, you're going to find yourself somewhere between these two islands to try and radar as much of the map as possible to give your team support.
Yeah, although I think in this case the Talon itself is not the greatest pick, I would say. I mean, it's a really good ship, but if it's hiding behind an island, it's pretty useless because of the shellarks. The shellarks are so flat that you can't really lob anything.
Yeah, I think they're going to be probably hoping that they get this Talon behind the island and sort of backstab the Cleveland and Lightning, catch them out there.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how this plays out. I'm just not sure about the Talon as a close-in cruiser in terms of being next to an island and lobbing because it's really difficult to do that in a Talon. Although he's found a pretty good position where he's far away enough from the island to be able to lob it without anyone detecting him because there's nobody else in line of sight.
Look at how cheeky this Cleveland is, full broadside facing the Lightning because he knows there's nobody else around who can shoot him.
Yeah.
And look at that cheeky center cap for Team Vengeance, but they seem to be losing the middle ring
Yeah.
to Indian Naval Command. So all even on the scoreboard. Little points lead there for Vengeance, and a lot of shots coming in on the Vladivostok.
Oh, those laddie shots. Oh, those were hipper shots actually. Those hipper shots could have hurt the Cleveland, but he got away with it. More shots coming in. Wow. This Cleveland is really charmed.
The
He's
uh,
living a
the, the
charmed
the
life.
Cleveland's used up 2 of its 9 lives for sure.
Yep. Yep.
Not
I
going to
mean,
be that lucky.
it wouldn't have been a death strike for sure, but it would have definitely hurt him pretty bad. And at tier 8, remember guys, these cruisers don't get heals.
Now look at
So
this. By the way, look at this. The Vlad is being forced to reverse bow on, right? So as to not take too much extra damage from the Bismarck and Talon. And the Lightning just sent out a cheeky set of torps. Is Captain Rajan Khanna going to continue reversing? No,
do they
back
have
into
the
the center rack.
range though? Do they have the range? I don't think they have the range anyway. So both hippers doing hipper things, staying at the corner of the as far into the corner of the map as they can and lobbing HE shells. That's pretty expected. I mean, that is the hipper's role. It's only towards the end game that you'll start seeing them come close in and engage in hand-to-hand combat, as we like to call it. And the outer ring goes to INC. That's a definitive advantage.
Yeah, look at this. Vlad, for some reason, bang in the middle. Not where you want to see a Russian battleship.
I mean, he can take a beating, that's for sure. And these guys know the position of the lightning, so he knows he's pretty safe from the torps. He doesn't have to worry about the torps. Uh, he might be pushing in, but there needs to be someone occupying the middle ring and nobody's doing that for Vengeance right now, and they're losing points basically from the middle ring. Although they are gaining points from the center ring because INC has vacated the center ring
Yeah,
completely.
and so this lightning, by the way, kind of risky, trying to fight the Talon and getting shot by Bismarck's secondaries as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reasonable risk to take because the radar doesn't last that long. But I mean, if he's really expecting to be able to top a Talon and a Bismarck with Hydro, yeah, I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
he
when
but the
yeah.
good thing he's done, guys, is he's actually forced the Bismarck and Talon back here, and they're gonna have to come all the way around before they can do anything. Right? There's
So the
nobody they can shoot.
Yeah, and Torpedo, he's trying to start pushing in and forcing these guys out of the center ring with his torps. Doubt they have the range though. We'll see.
Let's see,
Uh,
they were
but he's
sent
at least
at
keeping them spotted.
approximately 8.5.
And look at him, he's right at the edge of the Cleveland's radar range. So the moment the Cleveland radars, he's just going to DD Mao out of there.
Yeah. What are you saying, Fizz? What are your words of wisdom?
Yeah, so I was seeing the hipper, the Vengeance hipper was caught in a very bad crossfire. I mean, like you can see, like he's being farmed by the hipper from the INS, and he's a farm from Cleveland and Vladivostok both. So I mean, like his position from the start has been very bad, like to be honest. So
But
he's been
he
forced way
has
back.
actually bought his teammates a little time, because look at that. Lightning set out another set of torps towards the Bismarck. And I have a feeling that with the Bismarck potentially slowing down and turning, some of them might hit. Oh, Lucifer's lightning has been
That
radared.
I think the hydro of the Moscow Chikna is active.
I think, by the way, Seahawk, is he gonna take these torpedoes, guys?
Yeah,
No,
I
they
Oh,
doubt
they are
they'll
they're
have
then
the
gonna run
ran
range.
out
out.
well in
Yeah,
advance.
they're not going to have the range. And I mean, that's one area where the Lightning lacks is torpedo range. And with a 10-kilometer radar and a 12-kilometer radar in the picture, it becomes a little difficult to push in and get your tops working for you.
That's true. But I think the main utility is that after the buff of the penetration with lightning, it's now a very valuable just because now you had to before spec IFHE to pen even a DD. Now with the 19, like with the buff of the guns, you can at least chip in to at least shoot a DDs with the buff.
Absolutely, it's a pretty versatile ship. I don't mind seeing lightnings in the game. I think it's a good choice. It's just that torpedoes aren't exactly its primary uh, way of winning the game.
Oh man, they just ran out. They just ran out.
Yeah, see, 8-kilometer torpedoes are always going to be a little dicey, especially with Cleveland's and Talons being around. So,
Yeah, that Cleveland is being a very helpful to Vladivostok because I think if the Cleveland wasn't there, the Vladivostok would might have eaten unnecessary tops. So Cleveland is there to keeping the top leader spotted for Vladivostok mainly.
what do you guys say about the game balance? I mean, it's 665 versus 660. Uh, two rings to INC, one to Vengeance, and
I
yet
mean,
the points are pretty close because one of the rings is contested constantly.
yeah, that's true. And like thing is, though, the Vengeance is bleeding out their HP very quick. Like you can see Bismarck is down to like more than like the 1/4 I think by now, and
I
they're
think you
bleeding
mean the
out HP
INC.
so quickly.
I think you
Oh,
mean the
sorry.
INC. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. The Bismarck is low. He can't do the push in if needed now because he's scurrying away really quickly. The Talon is half health. One good blow from the Vladdy could take care of that. Oh, the Hipper from INC is in trouble. I
Oh
think he's going to try to get his tops off. He has.
no, he's. I think he's gonna die. I think he will die, but
At this level of gameplay, generally you will not see these torps hit battleships
No,
because
this.
people know there are tops coming. If someone's going broadside to you, there are tops on the way.
Yeah, this was very. I don't know if this was really worth it. I don't think so.
Cap, I think I'm ready to call it in favor of Vengeance because
With the numbers advantage, yes, it certainly
Oh
does feel
wait,
that way. But Cleveland
Cleveland.
just
Oh my
got a
God.
baseball from the Bismarck.
why would they put the Cleveland out there? They had no reason to do that. But the Talon is pushing in.
The Bismarck is nearly dead. The Talon is in trouble as well. Look at the lightning
The
gunboating
Vladdy,
the Talon.
look out for the Vladdy shots. There they go.
Man, I think Curry man might also die. The Hippo might die.
And that's what a Vladdy can do.
And that's another boom. And look at this. It's the
Wait, see,
Bismarck is in trouble. Oh my god.
Vengeance Skipper
but
goes
it's
down,
dead.
but the Bismarck is on fire.
Is is the
He's
Oh
Bismarck
trying
no,
to
healing
he's
from
not
keep
the
on
him.
fire?
fire. He's not on fire. He's healing.
He's
He was
healed.
just on
healing.
fire.
Yeah.
He just repaired that fire, but I think the Vladdy and the Lightning can just start pushing in now. I mean, the cruisers are gone. The one thing that the Lightning would have been afraid of. Uh, Also, the Lightning stops. Yes, it has stops, but I mean, I doubt it can take the Vladdy down in one shot.
I think the chance for it would be like Bismarck has to totally commit to push the Vladivostok because once he gets the broadside of Vladivostok, I think only then they have a chance, to be honest here.
And look, at
Because
10 kilometers range, the Vladdy can still hurt. Although that
He
salvo
completely
didn't.
potatoed that salvo.
Yeah, that salvo wasn't all that good. uh, Valve
Uh,
makes you eat your
so,
words
so
as
by the
soon
way,
as you spoke them.
if it stays as it is, uh, the guys.
oh, the
By
DD
the
last
way,
40 days return.
Oh, it's DDVDD. Can the Vladdy help out Lucifer?
my question
Can he
is:
get a shot off a
is the Vlad
torpedo?
gonna dodge all the torpedoes? Should.
He will. He probably will, yeah. Maybe he's gonna eat one if he's unlucky.
No, he's not. I think he'll just miss it.
Wow,
Ooh.
that was some good driving, I have to say. But Lucifer is in trouble now.
Oh yeah, the lightning is sneaking up from
Torpedo
behind.
is pushing in. You know what? I may have called this a little too soon because if Lucifer goes down,
If Lucifer goes down, it's game over, and Lucifer will go down.
So,
wow. Okay, this is this is getting interesting.
Yes, but will
That is
Lucifer
why.
take one with him? One is
Just,
looking good.
oh, that was
One
the
is
wrong
got a
way
looking.
to
one top, one
turn.
top.
That was
Oh,
the
that's
wrong
gonna
way
be
to
enough.
Oh,
Beautiful.
A minute 25 left. He shouldn't have opened fire, I think, the torpedo.
By the
I
way,
think
guys, we can give you an action replay of that torp taking out the Bismarck. The lightning dies there. That's one down. And then you're gonna see the torpedoes. So a little bit of crucial amount of damage coming in from the Vlad, and then the torp does the rest.
Wow, you know what? And that should teach me a lesson not to call a game too soon. Because look at the clock, less than a minute left. All Torpedo needs to do is run. Although he's not running in the right direction, I have to say. I mean, he could have just laid the smoke and just continued straight on.
Ooh, switch to HE, man. Rajan, switch to HE. You can do. He can get off one more salvo if he spots him.
If he's able to load HE and if he's able to spot him, which I don't think he is, he's just out of. Oh, I'm not so sure.
It should be possible, mate. It should easily be possible. But whether or not he will spot.
Yeah, he's not going to be spotted anymore, for sure. And that's the end of the game. 970 points, 10 seconds left. I called it too soon. I have to eat my words. Well played, INC. You pulled it out of the bag. And I have to say, I think Vengeance led this one out of their grasp, especially with that Cleveland push, which was uncalled for. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah. Losing that Cleveland, made it very hard for them to at least keep the DD on its toes. And that sort of gave free rein to the Lightning to get in behind Lucifer eventually for that pickoff that swung it in their favor.
Yeah, and
So
you have to
great
realize
job.
one thing: the number of ships you have is so important, because if you keep those rings occupied, the enemy team, while they might have capped it, aren't gaining points from it. So had the Cleveland, even on say 5 health, been in the middle ring, they wouldn't have had those points advantage that they had at the end.
Yep,
That's
great
true.
work there, folks. We're going to take a quick break and come back with the next match in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Alright guys, we are back. First things first, before we kick things off, bit of a screw up last game. Last game was not Vengeance versus INC. This game is Vengeance versus INC. So really sorry to the teams. I think Bitchu Gang were the winners, so congratulations to them. Valk, why don't you take us away on team composition for game 3?
Well, looks pretty similar to the last game. Vladdy, Bismarck, Talon.
We have 2 talents.
We have 2 talents. So one of the hippers got replaced by a Talon, and one of the hippers got replaced by a Baltimore. However, 2 new DD faces, Z23, which should be a good pick considering the Hydro, and Akizuki, which on any day is a very, very dangerous ship.
Yeah, it's good to see that, bit of change up coming in. But look at this. Nearly have the outer ring on the side of Indian Naval Command. How close are they to getting started on the points? That is the worst place to be denied a cap. They were so close, and I think they just edged in. It was probably INS Hellrain's Talon that snuck right in and denied that cap.
Yeah, as long as you've kept it denied, I don't think it matters because nobody's earning points from it. So we're in a bit of a stalemate right now. But if you look at it, the Z23 and the Aki, if they come close enough, and the Aki actually comes into the Z23's hydro range, that could be a little dangerous. Does anyone have shots on him? Or the Talon has shots on him?
Yeah, the Aki is 4.1 away. So that is ship detection range for sure.
Wow.
Talon here duking his shots of Bismarck.
I think the Z23 just doesn't have his hydro on yet.
Yeah, it's probably waiting for the right time, but... Oh,
but look at that, the other Talon pushing in.
Oh, this is a mistake. Baltimore should have loaded AP. He should have kept the AP loaded.
The question is Sonu going to try a YOLO torp onto the Talon, or is he just going to try and reverse an angle and maybe set out a salvo there? While that's happening, the Bismarck has taken actually a huge amount of damage.
Oh.
The Cleveland just lost a chunk.
Yeah, that was bad.
Shot. That's a Vladivostok shot. And the Cleveland radars, although it's going to be pretty pointless because the Z is hiding behind an island, all snuggled and cozy. Hellrain seems to be pretty aggressive in his Talon.
Oh, I think Hellrain moving out of the outer circle is going to give INC the first point of the match.
Yeah, I don't think he should have moved out, to be honest, but considering he was getting crossfired everywhere. Now the all focus on INS Hellrain right now.
On Hellrain, and I think they're just basically going to push Hellrain out of the map, and Hellrain's going to beach. He's going to beach broadside to everyone, and the Akizuki is going to torp him, spot him, and if they're smart, the Baltimore's going to farm him down.
Yeah,
well, I think the Bismarck can't shoot him right now.
Yeah, and the Bismarck's gone out of position for some reason. I mean, he had brilliant shots on Hellrain. I don't know why he just moved out of that position. That's a little confounding, frankly.
Wow. He took a good chunk out of Vladivostok.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's literally pushing in, I think.
Yeah, 10-17, I don't think that was the best possible time to flank, especially broadside on.
Is he just like secondarying the Vlad?
And he's also running into tops. I think he might run into tops.
Not think he will.
I'm sure he's got his hydro running.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just about turned. He just about turned. Oof!
Oh my god.
Look at salvo there as he dodged those torps.
That's a tough crossfire to be in. I mean, there's a Talon on your one side.
But look at this, look at this, look at this. They've this aggression, right? Well, he's actually forced the Z Vlad behind one island. Hellrain's Talon is already basically at the end of the zone, and they're pushing the other Talon out. They are getting all the points. You know, the Bismarck can stay alive for another maybe 60 seconds, and that's going to be enough to give them at least a 300 point lead.
No, he can't. He's gonna die. He's gonna die. Look, his HP 6k. Like, this was a total unnecessary push.
Yeah.
Like, basically, you just lost all the HP. Now, you just can't push with the Vladivostok alive
Look,
with this
the
composition.
problem with losing your BB so early in the game is that now the Talon has both the Talons have no problem pushing in, because each of these Talons can take care of the Cleveland and the Baltimore on their own for sure, right? Especially the Cleveland, who's I
No,
think
look at
less
this, look at
almost
this,
a
look at
third
this.
health.
Hellrain is actually being gunboated by the Akizuki guys. And the Vlad is gonna smack the Baltimore, mostly overpens, survives. But the Talon sent a good salvo as well.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. The Vladdy, once it pushes in, I mean, the Aki can help it. The Aki can possibly. Why isn't he loading AP though? SKN 84. I mean, that
Yes.
was a broadside talent right there.
He could have destroyed the Talon with that salvo.
Yeah, it's not the first time. In the starting also, when the talent was spotted, he rode Etchy. So I don't know, like Etchy, I don't think is a good choice in Baltimore at this stage.
Yeah, it looks like
And Cool starting to
Vengeance is
push in with
coming
his
back into
talent.
this.
I think the Cleveland's gonna die. Nankul just has too much of an HE advantage, too much of a health advantage, and that HE really hurts. The Talon HE really hurts, especially a light cruiser like the Cleveland. That's not going to be fun for Atom 301.
It's 2000 damage that salvo. Would have been hoping for a bit more.
I mean, look,
And
it's all going to count. The Talon has pretty reasonable DPM, and Atom 301 isn't going to be able to hold on to this for too long. And especially at tier 8 when they don't have heals. I don't know why he's turning away though. I mean, this was the perfect opportunity to finish off the Cleveland and flank the Baltimore and the Akizuki. I don't know why he's chosen to sail away.
Yeah,
That was confounding to me.
so what's good is the Z's actually gotten into the outer cap to start denying those points to the folks over at INC because they were starting to get away a little. But
Yeah,
now,
and once the Cleveland goes down, they're going to start capping the center as well, because it's only the Cleveland that's holding them back.
okay, so Vladivostok might eat the tops.
oh,
He might
beautiful
eat some of the Aki
torpedoes.
tops. Yeah, the Aki tops, even
Oh,
though
the
4
Talon's also
still
gonna
hurt
eat.
a lot.
Talon's also gonna eat some.
Yeah, oh my god,
This is
this might be,
madness. Oh
oh
my
man.
god. How did
Oh.
they throw this away? Talon, are you gonna survive this? He
Are we
does.
watching another throw here?
It sure
He's on
looks like
fire.
it.
He's on fire, and that's Perma because he repaired the flood. Yep, he's going down. And he's
Yeah,
down.
this is.
And now it's
Oh.
going to be down to the Vladdy. So Vladdy executes the Cleveland. The Aki, obviously, because it's the other Japanese line, the torpedo reloads aren't exactly Kagero level. So he's still got some time to finish off the Cleveland and the Balti till he can start expecting
That's the
torps.
thing. The Balti is so low on HP. The Z can essentially gunboat it. Radars come out. Now it's a bit of a fair fight. The Balti can shoot back at the Z.
I'm surprised
Why is
that
the
the Aki,
Akizuki's not helping?
yeah, I'm surprised the Akizuki is not taking care of the Z23, because the Akizuki can make light
In the distance, by the way, the
work
Cleveland
of
has
the
also fallen.
Yeah, that was expected, and I think now they can't survive. To be honest, now Cleveland was trying, holding a flank, and now he's dead. So now I don't think so. They have a chance to win,
Finally, I
but
think
we
the
never know.
Akizuki is starting to shoot the Z,
Yeah,
and I think this is it for the Z. The
yeah,
Z is in trouble now.
that
The-
wasn't the smartest move from the Z23. I
This,
mean, he's lucky
but
he survived till so long, because Aki
exactly.
took his time to
And the
start.
Balti's on fire. The Balti's on fire.
Wow, what a game!
This
Oh
is
man.
just nuts, guys.
You know what? An Akizuki from that distance is going to be hard to hit for the Vladivostok.
The Aki just needs a fire.
Yeah, I think the Bismarck really, if the Bismarck didn't push in the early on, they would have very good chance of victory, to
Long
be
range shot
honest.
coming in from the Talon. I'm surprised the Vladdy hasn't loaded HE yet. They still got 2 caps, although they're losing the center cap now. So that's a smart move from Nayankul. He's picked up the center cap. They should be able to. I think what Nayankul should do is just get into the outer cap and start capping now. Just,
Well, the Bismarck heal is
seal the
back
win.
up. I think now the Aki damage is not going to be able to do anything for it. As I think
No.
a valiant effort by Sonu Chandan, but the misplay was that he wasn't helping the Baltimore shoot the shoot the Z in time. If he
Yeah.
started shooting the Z 30 seconds earlier, we would have had a completely different match at this point. The
Yep.
Baltimore would have been alive at about 15,000 HP, and the Aki could have easily gone in close and YOLO topped the Vlad, and this would have been a game in the bag for INC. Unfortunately, silly mistakes, bad decision making. The Cleveland was out of position all the way over here, and Nayankul just made solo work off that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that
that was.
Cleveland lived a charmed life. He shouldn't have lived as long as he did because Nankul could have actually pushed in. I don't know why he turned away and started circumnavigating that island because he could have killed the Cleveland and gotten into the game way before. And now he's
So he.
radared Sonu Chandan. This should be pretty easy now.
Yeah, but I think Talon has 15 seconds radar only, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
So
but
I
Aki
think he might
shooting,
say,
so
but yeah, I think let's see what happens because I don't think now he has any
Bismarck
chance
is
to win.
Oh
I
my
think.
God,
on
he's on
fire, and
fire.
yeah, that's it.
Uh, that was just unfortunate. The Aki was like, "What can I do? Let me try. Let me try."
So
And
an almost throw, but not quite.
come on, it was essentially a throw still at the end of the day. Uh,
I think the main problem was the
Iron.
Bismarck. That main whole thing was Bismarck, to be honest. It was, I think, Bismarck actually really lost in the game. Bismarck just pushed early on, needlessly. It was a useless push. I don't know what they were thinking with the Bismarck push at start because the Bismarck would have been alive for, even for about 5-6 minutes. They would actually have a good chance.
Yeah, I
I
completely
think
agree.
both teams took their turns trying to throw the game.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just that I think INC threw a little harder.
yeah,
Uh, it all comes down, after the Bismarck also they could have come back, right? The Akizuki top salvo was amazing.
yeah,
It hit the Vlad, it hit the Talon, they killed the Talon, and then the Z panicked and started gunboating 5 feet away from the Baltimore. Unfortunately, the Baltimore could only use the front two turrets,
yeah,
and the Akizuki didn't help out. The
yeah,
Akizuki was so fixated because the Akizuki had a flooding put out by the Vlad, and the Aki was probably thinking maybe I will get him on permafire and then help
yeah,
with the Z.
yeah.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and it ended up costing them the game. Exciting game so far. I'm happy to see they're not whitewashes all around, and we're gonna have more exciting ones coming up for you guys. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back for Game 4 of Matchday 1 of Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. And we're back, folks, with Game 4 on the first day of Shipfest Season 2. Brought to you by LG Ultragear. We have Death Brigade on Alpha versus Crazy in Bravo. Val, talk us through the team comps.
Well, I mean, there's not much to talk about except the
The
Edinburgh
Edinburgh.
makes an appearance.
So Edinburgh has the advantage of stealth radar. I mean, it will probably be a radar Edinburgh. I don't believe a smoke Edinburgh would be coming in this matchup.
Yeah,
I
it'll
wouldn't
definitely.
really count against that.
We've seen crazy things in this tournament, and we will
Yeah, but
continue
I
to see
think
them.
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense though. Like you don't have a radar. I mean, one. Okay. Oh, why is lightning shooting? Oh, okay. I think a lightning might have
By the way, it looks
misclicked.
like the Lightning is an Act Fibernet user sporting that wicked Act Fibernet exclusive camo here
Oh, okay.
and
Lightning
getting
was
punished for the
spotted.
misclick.
Yeah, I think that was a misclick, and it is indeed
Oh,
a
so
smoke Edinburgh.
And the Admiral's like, here, Lightning, don't waste your smoke, I'll waste mine.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird move, I have to say.
Okay, now
this is
here's my
like,
question. Who's the one supposed to be in the smoke and who's gonna spot? Apparently, neither.
Wow, that was yeah, not very coordinated play, I have to say. And the Bismarck
is on
seems to be
fire.
coming under quite concentrated fire right now. I mean, he's basically got their entire team shooting at him.
And one thing I've been seeing is like the Bismarcks coming in the game are actually like full secondary builds. They are not having fire prevention, so I
Wait,
think
yeah,
he
this
might
Bismarck
even get
doesn't
a
have
fire.
fire prevention. You're right, Fuzzy. I was just looking at that. That's another fire just waiting to be set.
Yeah, I think like no, even the previous game, the Bismarck didn't have fire prevention, so like people are coming here with a full secondary builds.
I mean, yes, this is a small map, and yes, your secondaries, you can make them work, but I mean, to be brutally honest, this is not going to be end up in a brawl unless something goes terribly wrong. Oh, look at
Yes.
that. The Vladdy shooting HE because he knows the Bismarck repaired.
See, that is
That's just
seriously,
evil.
that intelligent play. That
That's
is intelligent play,
that's
really.
evil. That's not intelligent. That's evil.
Yeah, and that's a double fire on the Bismarck. by the way.
Double fire. Oh,
And there's another
is quite bad.
waiting to be burnt. And for those folks who don't know, fire prevention essentially reduces the number of fires from 4 to 3. Basically, the center fire joins and becomes only one fire. But because,
Oh, that's
and as
three.
you can
Oh,
see,
he
the
put
third
him
fire,
out.
He repaired.
They put him
yeah,
out.
the superstructure is the easiest part of a battleship to hit at long range with HE. And if you have two fires available on the superstructure, it just becomes that much easier to set a double fire on a BB, which is why it's always important to have fire prevention on a battleship.
Yeah, Team Crazy is doing really well, guys. They've got the outer circle. Um, Getting it, losing it, getting it, losing it,
That's
depending
a
on
double
whether
perma fire. That's a
Switchkun's
double
hipper.
perma fire.
Oh,
This
again.
It's not for this world for too long.
Yeah. See, look, I think it's clear what their strategy was. Get the Bismarck in there and start secondarying whichever DD or cruiser is maybe out in the open or comes to the center. Unfortunately, the rest of his team wasn't able to back him up. But look at this. They're actually getting the outer cap. They're getting the outer cap and they're denying the middle cap points, the middle ring.
Yeah, but is it worth losing your battleship for? Is my question. I mean, getting a few secondary hits on look, the secondaries only work when you are within, say, 10 kilometers of the enemy, right? If you're within 10 kilometers of the enemy, and it probably will be a DD or a cruiser. A DD you'll never be able to see at 10
Oh,
kilometers.
you know what? That lightning should have just smoked up the poor Bismarck.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're like 4 feet away from, this guy who's out there in the boiling heat, and you roll down your AC BMW window and just look at him and be like, "Sup?" And that guy's your
This is-
friend, and you're just like, "Yeah, you're not coming in today."
Yeah. And look at it this way, right? I mean, if you're within 10 kilometers of a cruiser, you should be shooting at the cruiser with your primary guns, not your secondary guns.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's secondary for a reason.
yeah, I mean, I don't really see the point of a secondary build Bismarck. Or maybe this guy just didn't have
I
enough
mean,
captain points.
it's
It
things
can be that.
you, Fizz, and I would be doing potentially in random battles, but not something I would take into a tournament.
And even in random battles, I do it for a kick. I mean, I
Yeah.
Yeah,
do it
yes, not to
just
be
to have
effective.
fun, right? Yeah,
Yeah, and
And main
I'd
thing
much
I've
rather do that with a Massachusetts, not a
yeah,
Bismarck.
yeah, yeah.
exactly. And
And
also,
yeah,
Death
Fabio,
Brigade
go ahead.
don't have any spotting. Like, see these guys, they don't have any radar, and their DD is, the DD can't spot because Baltimore is there with the radar. It's like they don't even have any kind of spotting there.
Yeah,
Main problem.
that's actually really true. I think the big problem here is
Oh, the Hippo just lost a huge chunk, and I think the next salvo from anybody is going to be enough to take him out. 1250 HP,
yeah. I
not
think
good
Death
times.
Brigade ship selection, and then of course the
Questionable.
BB push, uh, the uncoordinated
Look at this,
smokes.
18 HP. The
Wow, that's
guards are
unlucky Hippo.
smiling on him.
Not for
And
long.
not
He's
for
gonna
long.
die, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, I think right from ship selection down to the BB push, the smoke coordination, I don't think this was their finest hour for sure. I think what these guys need to do is take a hard look at maybe streams of other players and
Hmm.
see what their strategies are, and maybe try to model something around that. Uh,
Absolutely. You know, the beauty of this, the format we've chosen, Valk, is everybody is playing the same map every day, right? So day one is the same map, day two is the same map, and so on. So they can actually study team compositions, and there's only four maps in the tournament, so they will repeat after a point. So they do have a great opportunity to study each other, and because it's not a single knockout, it's a league tournament, right? Full round robin. That means
yeah,
everybody is going to play everybody. All 10 teams are going to play each other. That means they have 9 matches apiece.
yeah.
Enough time to learn, improve, work out these issues. As it looks like the Baltimore's pushing in, and
Yeah.
for some
Yeah,
And
reason, the
now
and
even
Edinburgh doesn't shoot the Baltimore.
yeah, because he can't see the Baltimore.
can't see the Baltimore. That's the thing
Now he
because
can see the
even
Baltimore because he's shot, but before that he wasn't able to see the Baltimore, and now the Baltimore's just gonna AP him to death. And yeah, um,
yeah, those American heavy AP and the American angles, they could just chew the Edinburgh even if it shows
Oh,
little bit only broadsides.
he either bounced or overpenned everything there.
yeah, I think that must have been overpens.
Oh,
Oh,
weapons.
actually, that might have been overpens simply because he doesn't have a low enough angle to hit the citadel of the Edinburgh.
Yikes. Oh,
That's
look at
true.
this. The
Yeah.
Lightning is gonna have to make some, you know, massive plays here.
No, the Lightning needs to make a
No,
will now because he's as good as dead.
Lightning, come
Lightning
on.
is gonna die.
Yeah. I mean, the talent might even risk eating the torch because this game is as good as over now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the main thing was, the Edinburgh selection was very poor. I mean, even Edinburgh radar Edinburgh very fine, but like the Edinburgh position was also not really good. Like, he was stuck in the island. Like if he's smoking, but he's not shooting anything. Like smoke is totally
Yeah.
useless if you're not shooting
Yeah.
anything. So
Yeah. I mean, I think the basics for Death Brigade are what they need to work on. It's a long tournament. You never know. They might learn their lessons. They might, go in with different ships in future games. But it is to be seen how quickly they can pick it up, how quickly they can turn it around, and work on their coordination as well, because that's going to be pretty important.
Absolutely. You know, for now, guys, it seems like it is a death sentence for Death Brigade, as Team Crazy are gonna sweep them. Uh, Essentially, a, a full team wipe victory. They didn't even need max points. So great job.
Yeah.
We've got one more game lined up for you guys. Game 5 on the first day of Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. I'm Captain Arya. The other two amazing voices you hear are of Fizz Killer and Valkyrie. We're going to be back after this short break. Don't go anywhere. And we're back, folks, for the last game of the day. We have Shot Callers versus Radioactive. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Valk, Shot Callers are our reigning Shipfest champions. Varun
Yep.
360, I am not Groot, Invader, and Awesome. Last time was a 3v3, so they do have the addition of the fourth this time. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that dynamic plays out and whether they're just as good going up against a four-man stack. First in their way, Radioactive. And Valk, walk us through the team comps. Fairly standard?
Fairly standard. The Baltimore and the Albemarle make a reappearance. Talon, Baltimore, Lightning on the other side. Pretty standard. Vladivostok's on both sides now. This will be interesting because we've never seen both sides field Vladivostoks before. We've seen Bismarcks versus Vladis and NCs versus Vladis. So this will be a good matchup. I'm looking forward to watching Invader, though. I mean, that guy is an artist with a destroyer.
You know,
Yeah, that's
you know, he's like, Tom Hanks is in A Beautiful Mind, right?
No.
Is he? Yes, I
no,
think so.
not Tom.
Who's in A Beautiful
Russell
Mind?
Crowe?
Ah, yes.
I've-
Okay. So he's like Russell Crowe from A Beautiful Mind, where he can see the numbers, and then you throw in Tom Hanks from Greyhound, and he's just like, I will pilot the shit through those torpedoes and punish you.
Wow,
He is.
that was a tortured analogy, but I understand where you're going with it. I do
He sees
understand
the
what you're
game
saying.
at a whole different level, man.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, Invader is really good. I Am Not Groot is also really good. So these are some established, strong players. Not
This
just
is
from
my Clan
last
Battles clan, by the way.
Ah,
I sub in with them in Clan Battles to farm my steel.
yeah, and you should also know that the clan that Cap started, we are a part of that, but he doesn't stay with us.
yeah.
Look
So
at this!
I'm
Look at
not
this
Groot is
early
actually.
aggressive gunfight here by Invader.
Yeah, that's a queer choice, but then it's left the Akizuki exposed to
Oh,
leading shots
that.
from the Baltimore. Wow.
Yeah, that
What?
was a good chunk.
I don't know if
Really
that was
good chunk.
That
intentional,
was 300
but
IQ
that
play.
worked out pretty well, I have to say. I don't know if that was intentional, but it worked out really well.
300 IQ play.
Yeah, I'm not so sure yet because I think all that happened was he wasn't expecting the Aki to be there, but the Aki was. But yeah, I mean the Aki's in a bit of trouble. I think the Baltis radared him. He's juking as best he can with a broken engine, but I think he should be safe in a bit.
No, if he's
Radars
gonna
are
keep
clearly-
going back, he's actually gonna take torps. If he keeps.
Oh, no, he won't. No, he
No,
won't. He won't.
I think the broken engine saved him.
Yeah,
literally.
yeah. If he was full speed, that was
And not just from the tops, but also from the Baltimore shots, because the Balti was expecting him to reverse at a much faster rate.
yeah. But
The Vladivostoks have been quiet until now. Nobody's really had any shots at anyone.
look at what's gonna
Albemarle
happen
is-
out here, Valk. You got the Albemarle and the Talon. They're just they're gonna be playing around this island. It seems.
Yeah,
I think the position of the Olome is very bad, because I think Olome should have been, near the, should have shots of Vladivostok, because if I mentioned, Fact River, IFHE, right, the Olome could have farmed the Vladivostok all day because Vladivostok has 50mm deck armor and the penetration of Olome is 52
Oh, look at this! Look at
millimeters.
this! Invaders found the Aki
Yeah.
again, and Salty Balance is taking so much damage. And look at him just driving him nuts with that start-stop of his engine.
why isn't Pratik 2311 radaring? Or has he already radared before and it's on cooldown? I think it might be. on cooldown.
Yeah, he did. I think if
Oh,
it
he's
was hard,
radaring
but-
now.
Yeah.
They should be dangerous, but he doesn't have shots on Invader. Wow, Invader's positioning. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know with this guy ever whether it's intentional or it's just luck. But
Well,
he's
I'd give
such a
the
player
I'd,
that-
I'd give the
yeah,
benefit of the doubt to the reigning champions, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I would.
intentional.
I think sitting here and commenting on their game, these guys are way better than us. These guys know what they're doing. And yes, he did take a bit of a chance with the Baltimore radar in terms of being spotted by the Aki through the smoke, but then it did work out. All the chances he's taken in this game have worked out really well because that Aki is now down to less than a quarter health.
Yeah, but look at the score, right? It's 100, well, not 175 points in
Oh, the
favor of
Stalin
Crazy.
just dealt a big hand to the Albemarle.
Yeah, the Albemarle's in trouble, and I think Invader's gonna be able to see the Baltimore.
Is he in shooting range of the Vladdy though? Not yet, no. He's too far away from the Vladivostok. But the Baltimore, nope, the Vladdy doesn't have shots on the Balti either. They've kept Varun 360 quite quiet because he just doesn't have shots on anyone. All he has shots on is a bow on Vladdy, and a bow on Vladdy, even Stalin has trouble penetrating.
Yep. And I think the Vladivostok of Admiral Affliction is like Heine, he's way out of position to be honest. Like I'm not seeing his shots anywhere to be honest here. Like he's just like standing there and not able to shoot at anyone.
Yeah. And I think this would be a good time for Invader to maybe take the middle ring because he doesn't really have. Okay, so he's letting go of some tops towards.
No, but that's the thing. The
Action.
oh,
Oh,
the
and
middle.
just
So the
put
second
dots
ring,
up.
you mean?
Yeah, the middle ring. Yeah, because the middle ring is currently unoccupied. Although Admiral Affection is moving into the middle ring, will those tops hit though? That's the question.
If
Oh,
he
he
I
just
moves,
think
stopped short of the middle ring. That's interesting.
the
I
tops
mean,
do look good.
yeah, but he's reversing, and I think he should be. No, maybe he'll eat one. I think he's gonna eat one.
He'll take one
he
if he.
might eat one. He will.
Yeah,
Oh no, he might. Yeah,
he's
he
gonna
will
take
take
one.
one at least.
Yeah.
And on the
Oh
the
my
ran out.
God!
Wow.
Oh wait,
And
Invader is spotted.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
the
that's
Invader is
radar
spotted.
came out. Radar came out from the Balti.
but he doesn't have shots. Invader plays at the edge of risk. You know what I mean? Where he just barely
Gotta risk it for the
out of
biscuit, man.
yeah. But I mean, this guy, and that is exactly why he's such a valuable player.
Yeah,
A skilled DD player is so versatile. I mean, it takes the team to a whole new level.
and it takes a lot of awareness, right, to know. All right, if this is the where we know the Baltimore is, I have maybe a few hundred meters to play around with to be maximizing my effectiveness and being just at the edge of the radar so I can get out if I need to.
Yeah,
And
and
with that, they've actually captured the middle ring, as you said.
yeah, and baiting the radar is one clear, easy way of clearing your path towards the battleship because once you've baited the radar out, you have a clear path to the battleship.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
this guy, I mean, guys at their level generally have this mental clock of by when the radar will be back up, so they play around that as well. It's a tightrope game playing a DD with radars around, but
Oh,
Invader does
okay.
it.
I think look at Varun. I think he is posing a lot of broadside. Oh, I think he's angled in just in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vladdy is the once it's angled in, it's almost
So this is
impossible.
interesting, by the way. Varun's push is to make sure the Baltimore potentially moves ahead of that island, stops backing, and that means it's going to go
Oh,
straight into Invaders' torpedoes. Oh my God, I do not want to be that
this
Baltimore
is
right now,
a
guys.
very very good
Yeah,
crossfire.
but
This is very good.
I think he's going to miss most of them. I think the Balti
He
might
might
eat.
miss. Did
Oh,
he miss
huge.
all?
Whoa, just
Oh!
He's yeah. I think the Balti must have been running hydro because he was spotted. The moment you're spotted in a cruiser, especially American cruisers and the new Russian cruisers, that there's a DD in top range.
Alright, now it's getting tricky, guys, for our reigning champions. Shot callers. 5 minutes left. They're down by 160 points. Um, Full ships up on both sides. Battleships essentially full HP. Baltimore's essentially full HP. DDs are where the difference is going to be.
Yeah, but
Okay.
if there is a Lightning versus Akizuki fight right now, which is going on, but if it was a face-to-face fight, very frankly, the Aki would eat up
No,
that Lightning.
I think Invader knows that he needs to make a big play. He's spotted. He started gunboating the Albemarle. That's all he can do at this point.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
you were saying about short callers being in a bit of trouble, I think that's the reason why the Vladdies decided to push in. I think it's time they make their push. It's time they make some things happen because
I think the Vlads are gonna ram each other. Admiral Affection is essentially going to take out the highest HP pool ship on the opponent, so that the rest of his team, who are in a fairly decent position, can capitalize. Now, if either of them has a ram flag, that's gonna
Oh.
play a huge part
I'm
in
sure
how
they'll be
this game is
running.
gonna end.
I'm
You
sure they'll.
have to be, especially with the flag changes a few patches ago, guys.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh, neither of them had a ram flag, it seems.
Wow.
Oh, I
Weird.
think if either of them ram flags, if they also have ram flags, then like doesn't matter really because
True,
both
true,
of them
true.
like equal
Yeah, then
damage.
both are doing
They
more damage.
Although
Fair
the
point.
Albemarle has been doing significant damage to the Talon, these two have been going at it throughout the game, all alone on one flank,
Yeah,
not concerned
but
about what's
but look
going
at
on in
this,
the
look at this,
center.
look at this. Despite the HP pool advantage, uh, Invaders actually captured the outer ring.
Yep.
He's got torps out at the Baltimore. That means I think the Baltimore's definitely taking torpedoes this time.
Yeah, but
oh,
the Talon's
this
going
that's not
down.
looking good.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Talon's gone
oh,
down.
he's taking another.
Oh,
Oh my
beautiful
god,
stuff
that was
there.
bad.
Oh,
Oh, but
That was
Invader
Invader
might go
bad.
looked
down.
cheeky.
Yeah, Invader might go down here
No,
because
he has that amazing smoke that resets so fast.
yeah, he does. I'm just curious if
Oh no, he's gonna go
has
down.
his data back.
Oh my god, just survived, just about. I am not Groot. He's going to have to push.
Groot is hydroing Pratik right now, so Invader has shots on him. He's keeping Pratik spotted, but he's broadside to the Albemarle.
Oh my god, this is next level genius play coming in.
Baltimore's dead.
I gotta say, this was a pretty well coordinated attack.
But look at this,
Although,
1 minute 40. They're 100 points down. Um, and
and they've lost the
in
outer ring.
Invaders barely alive.
They've lost the outer ring, by the way. Did you
So
notice that? We didn't
yeah.
notice the Aki actually capping it. Wow.
Oh, Invader. Oh my god. Is that one of those YOLO plays? He's on 700 HP and he's taking shots. The Aki, and they're connecting between him and Groot. 1500 HP on the Akizuki.
I think the
And
Albemarle really needs to be shooting Invader. He shouldn't be shooting the
oh
Balti.
my god.
Yeah, Alice Regan. I think the shot should have been on Invader rather than. Oh, he's got
He got
Invader,
it. He got it.
and all he needs to do now because what's the cap situation? Who gets what? So we have 42 seconds left.
This is
But I don't think
nuts.
that's going to be good enough because what they have right now is one cap running for them, which is the outer cap, which is earning points. The center cap is only half capped, and the middle is actually going to the Albemarle.
I think this is gonna be in favor of radioactive guys.
Yeah,
I'm confident in calling that. Unfortunate, and I think a little too late there. That play coming in from Invader and Groot,
and you have
because
to give radioactive props for being patient about the whole thing. I mean,
Mhm.
they never panicked,
yeah,
right?
they were
Uh,
clearly on the back foot in the beginning.
yeah,
Invader was dictating the play. But what we didn't notice because we were so fixated on what was happening in the middle of the map is that Alice Rain. he actually pushed the Talon essentially out of the fight. He
Yeah,
took
and
on Awesome all on his own and just kept him away from influencing the what's happening in the middle, which was after a while a stalemate.
yeah, and I think Shot basically lost track of the caps. I think they should have paid a little more attention to the caps. I think maybe, and this might just be something right out of my ass, but maybe they're a little overconfident from last year. Who knows?
Yeah,
Can be.
definitely
Can be.
looking a little rusty. The fact that they lost that battleship to a ram trade, you wouldn't have seen that last year because we saw them pull back from a couple of matches that, they could have easily lost, and they ended up finishing the tournament undefeated, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it was quite a bit of a shock to see this first match of the tournament, the reigning champions, start off with a loss.
But well played to the radioactive.
Radioactive.
Is
Yep.
I think they kept their patience, they kept their cool. The Aki was pretty low health, but he hung around till the end. He was still making some plays. I mean, look, even if you're a DD on one health, you're invaluable for capping, right?
Yeah.
So it's just about finishing up. That's it.
Yeah. But great game. I think an amazing match to have as our last match of the day, guys. That's it for games today. Day one of Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear, comes to an end with a rather surprise conclusion. Your reigning champions, start off with a loss. Some exciting games, some interesting throws, some what the hell throws. But this is just the start. We've got, I think, 9 more days of awesome World of Warships action coming at you every single day at 9:30 p.m. right here on the World of Warships India Facebook page, the Esports Club Facebook page, and the Esports Club YouTube channel. We'll be bringing it to you live every single day, every single game. And if you enjoy World of Warships, you don't want to miss it. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Captain Arya. Big thanks to my co-casters, Fizzkiller and Valkyrie, and all the teams that put up a great day. Go home, rest up, practice a little, brush up on your map for tomorrow, as we'll be back tomorrow 9:30 p.m. with map 2.